This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Now, you may recall that last week I did a video on a money no object rig, basically all of the guitars and etc. that amp, pedals, whatever, that you could buy if money were no object. If you imagine you're a billionaire and, you know, money doesn't matter, but you still fancy earning a few extra quid going out and doing some pub or club gigs, what would be the rig that you'd buy? And we looked at that last week. So this week I thought I'd do something which is the exact opposite. Just how cheaply can you put a gigging rig together? You know, so we're looking at a bare bones setup here. We're talking about, you know, kind of a guitar that you plug into an amp and you can get a clean tone and a dirty tone, a clean tone for the strummy stuff and a dirty tone for the shouty stuff. It's probably not going to be an ideal rig if you're in a band that's doing lots of ambient, trippy stuff that requires, you know, multiple different types of modulation, reverb, delay, etc., etc. But, you know, I'm talking about just, you know, for a meat and potatoes pub rock covers band, you know, this would be a rig that would, you know, suffice. So imagine, you know, you've got your favourite kind of setup, your favourite guitar, amp, pedals, etc., and it all gets stolen. And don't worry, because it's all insured, so you're going to get it all, you know, replaced. But you've got a gig in the diary and you're not going to get the replacements soon enough. And you've got maybe, I don't know, 400 quid headroom left on your credit card. What would you buy? Well, these are my suggestions. Okay, without a doubt, the most important part of the rig, the guitar. And you can see here I've gone for the Fender Squier Bullet Strat, which comes in at £109 plus £8 shipping. So let's plug that into our running total. That's 109 plus 8 is 117. So there we go. And just briefly, while we're on the topic of ordering, as you can see here from Thomann, there is some concern in the UK that since we left the EU, that, you know, ordering from Thomann is a bit of a faff around. There are hidden extras, there are import duties, there's VAT and all kinds of stuff that you have to kind of factor in when you're ordering from Thomann. And that was the case for quite a while after Brexit, but it's not the case anymore. As you can see, this price here includes VAT and you get the shipping cost nice and upfront stated there. I know this is the case, that the price that you see on the site is the price that you pay, because I've recently ordered from Thomann and that was my experience. You can buy a Strat style guitar for less than this. Of course, there's the Harley Benton ST20. So why am I not recommending that? Well, because we're talking here about stuff that I personally know has a proven track record of being giggable. And the ST20 might be a very worthy giggable guitar, but I don't know that for certain. But I do know that this is, because the fantastic Nashville session guitar player Jack Pearson uses a Fender Squier Bullet Strat as his main gigging guitar. The only mod that he's done is to change the volume pot. The volume knob. The pot is the actual component inside is still stock, but he's put a different coloured knob on it so that it's easier to read under stage lighting conditions, which tends to suggest, I can only deduce from that he is actually using the volume pot. You know, it's not one of these guitars where, you know, the volume pot might as well be painted on, because as soon as you kind of turn it down from 10 to clean things up a little bit, it immediately turns to a muddy, mushy, muffled mess. That clearly isn't the case with this guitar, or else, you know, I guess a player of Jack Pearson's calibre, who's played with the Allman Brothers and loads of people, using a Squier Bullet Strat. He wouldn't be using this guitar if it wasn't, you know, a usable guitar. Quick look at the spec. We've got basswood body, maple neck, a C neck profile, Indian laurel fretboard, 9.5-inch radius neck, 21 medium frets. I've gone, as you can see here, for the hardtail bridge version because we're keeping costs down, but there are trem equipped versions versions of this, and you can even get like HSS versions. So if you want something a little bit more humbuckery and throaty in the bridge position, then you can get one of those as well. But this is the cheapest guitar that you can buy that has that word Fender somewhere on it, albeit in small letters. So what are we going to plug it into then? Well, I've gone for the orange Micro Terra amp, which comes in at 125 quid plus £8 shipping. So that's that's 125 plus 8. That's 133 quid, isn't it? So let's plug that in. So 133. There we go. We're up to 250 quid so far, and we've got the two main components of the rig, the guitar and the amp. What we've got here is a very, very basic single channel, as you can see, hybrid amplifier. It's partially solid state and partially valve driven. I think it has an ECC 83 in there somewhere, and you get volume, tone and gain, and that's your lot. No option anxiety using this amp. Plug a set of headphones in, and if we look around the back, you've got speaker output, power supply in. I think you've also got an auxiliary input there, so you can plug in some form of external music if it is your want to do so. So is a single channel 20 watt amplifier going to be muscular enough to do the whole gigging thing? Well, I've seen guitarists using these in small pub gigs, and they were plenty loud enough. And this review here says it all, really. You could easily do a pub gig with this amp, and there are many videos on the tube which show how easily you can drive a 4x12. So yes, you can gig with it, albeit a little bit of a basic kind of setup, but you can deliver the goods with it. And if it's big enough for a small pub gig, well, if you're going to be doing anything bigger than a pub gig, like a big social club or something, when you're on a big stage, you're probably going to be miking up anyway. So I would say that this is perfectly suitable. But as you can see, it's a head, so we're going to need a speaker cab for this, and this is what I've chosen here, the Harley Benton G112 at £66 with an additional £8 shipping, so that's going to be £74. Let's add that in, and we will go, so that's 74 like that. That brings us up to 324 quid, and we've got the guitar, we've got the amp, and we've got the speaker cab. There is a more pricey version of this cab which has a Celestian speaker in it, but this is apparently, according to the reviews, which we'll look at in a moment, more than adequate for the job. Hardly an inspiring slideshow, is it, looking at pictures of a speaker cabinet, but it'll do the job. Power handling 100 watts, 70 watts RMS, a 12-inch speaker, 8 ohm impedance, handle on the top, semi-open MDF cabinet. Not a lot of specs to discuss here. Let's have a look at the reviews. As I say, 431 customer ratings with an aggregate score of 4.2 out of 5. So, I would say that that drummer proof. I would say it's probably going to be surprised by the quality, no complaints, great value. It's overall it's a positive set of reviews. You could go with something a little bit more characterful in terms of the speaker that it's got in there, but this will get the job done. Now, bear in mind that orange Micro Terra amp that is a single channel amp, so you're probably going to need something to drive the front end of it a little bit. You could whack the gain up full and then just dial it back from the volume control on the guitar. That's a doable feature, but it is nice to have a pedal in line just to kind of give you that little bit of an extra push. And this is the one I've gone for obvious reasons. I reviewed one of these lately and was absolutely gobsmacked by just how much like a tube screamer it is for like under 20 quid. So we're going to look at the shipping costs on this in a moment, because we're going to be, buying more than one thing from Gear for Music here. So we'll look at the combined shipping costs when we've chosen everything that we're putting in the basket, basically. As you can see, I have 4 items in the basket here, and we'll be looking at what those are. This is a great little pedal. I use it all the time. Now I've got it to drive the front end of my little Yamaha practice amp that I use during my Zoom lessons, and I also use it to push the front end of like a Plexi model or something like that in positive grid bias amp. It does the job. If you want something that sounds and behaves and gives you the vibe of a tube screamer, and you're on a very tight budget, then you can't go wrong with this pedal. I'll leave it at that. So unless you're going to be chewing through a load of batteries to keep that powered, you're going to need a power supply, and this is the one I've gone for here. £8.99, an Electro Harmonix 9-volt power supply that is a universal pedal supply. Oh yes, I almost forgot. I need to plug that tube screamer, that vintage tube overdrive, into the price that we've got going, and that was £19.90, and this power supply is £8.99. As I say, we're going to be looking at the shipping costs in a moment. £352.89 so far. So what else do we need? We've got the guitar, we've got the amp, we've got the speaker cabinet, we've got the drive pedal, we've got the power supply for the drive pedal. Well, we're going to need some cables. We're going to need a guitar lead from the guitar to go to the pedal, and we're going to need a lead to go from the pedal to the amp. And this is the one that I've chosen. I've had a couple of these, and they are as reliable as any lead. I've never had a lifetime's worth of use out of any of these lifetime guarantee leads, and sort of 2 years down the line, the lead has kind of broken and you can't find the receipt, and it's lifetime guarantees on leads. I think I just take them with a pinch of salt. So I've had a couple of these leads, these Gear for Music own brand leads, and they are more than adequate for the job, and they last as long as anything that says it has a lifetime guarantee, to be honest with you. So we've got 2 3-meter leads here, 2 because we need, as I say, we've got a pedal in line, so we need 2 leads. 3 meters, that's 9 foot. So you can, it's, if we're thinking here about doing, kind of pub gigs, that's going to be, just about long enough to kind of give you enough movement on a pub gig. So £5.49 each. So let's plumb those into the running total. 5.49 plus 5.49. So £363.87 so far. Now, we've ordered the pedal, the power supply, and 2 leads from Gear for Music, and those are the 4 things that are in my basket. So let's have a look at this then. How much is the shipping cost here? Well, you can get next available working day shipping for £5.49, or if you are close to the York showroom to be able to pick it up. Most of you probably aren't. But, if you want saver delivery, it's down to £2.49. So we're keeping the costs down to an absolute minimum. So we'll go for the saver delivery. And you can see I'm recording this on, where are we, Saturday the 14th of August, so it will be here by Wednesday or Thursday. That's not bad. So we'll go with, we'll add £2.49 into the running total. So £366.36. I know I've forgotten to look at the speaker cable, haven't I? So let's, because we're going to need a speaker cable to hook the amp up to the speaker. So let's just do a quick search here. Speaker cable. Speaker cable, jack to jack, 1 meter, £3.79, and that will be included in the cost in that shipping total there. So £3.79. Our grand total for our bare bones rig, which is a Fender Squier Bullet Strat, an Orange Micro Terror, a Harley Benton G112 speaker cabinet, a Behringer vintage tube overdrive pedal with power supply and associated cables. Our grand total is 370 quid plus 15 pence, you know. So let me know what you think. Is that a rig that you would gig with, or do you have any alternatives to suggest? Let me know in the comments. So as I said there, let me know what your suggestions would be. You've got a budget of around 400 quid. I suppose we could have stretched that a little bit, you know, and got a bit extravagant and put one of those Behringer pedals on, you know, a delay pedal, for example, but then you'd have had to think about the patch cable and the upgraded power supply. We could have probably got it in just a shade under 400, but that was the rig that I went with. As I say, let me know what you would buy with the same amount. And that is pretty much it for today, folks. Hope you found the video reasonably entertaining, and if you have, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and why not give me a like while you're at it. Don't forget the live stream tomorrow, Friday, 5 PM UK time. We sit and drink beer and talk music and guitars and all manner of stuff. It's a fantastic way to kick off the weekend, and I would love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.